Hello everybody, and let's play some Subnautica. Let's have some fun today. I've played it a bit, beaten the game once on console, and let's see how it plays on the computer. So, let's start a new game, let's do some survival, and let's have some fun.
Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, now let's get started. For those of you who have not played this game before, as you can see, we have crash landed on an alien planet, and we need to figure out how we're going to survive and get off of this place.
You have suffered minor head trauma. This is considered an optimal outcome. This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world. Please refer to the databank for detailed survival advice. Good luck.
Thank you, PDA. So, for those of you who maybe haven't worked with large corporations, large companies, or government companies, you might wonder what kind of engineering could have went into to make it so on a crash landing a panel might come flying and hit you in the head. Well, look at any potential product that's coming out lately from certain large companies, and you can see where some of these deficiencies may come
The
from.
Aurora suffered orbital hull failure. Cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected.
Now, our goal is to survive, thrive, and try to get off of this place, so let's start going. Our first goal should be to get our escape pod back up and running. To do that, we'll need to create certain things, and the first one we'll want to look at is the repair tool. So, let's get hunting. Now, the thing I really do love about this game is that, as suspenseful as it is, it's still quite a beautiful open game, and you can really kind of get lost in the waters. And with certain things that we've been dealing with in the world today, it's nice to play a game where even when some things might seem hopeless at first, you can build your way to something better. So, first step we need is to get some titanium. You find titanium in these little limestone outcrops. You'll see little clumps along the rock wall. And when you're beginning, they'll very kindly tell you where certain things are. Alright. Now, cave sulfur. Did not mean to take a PDA, so that is good to know. So how to get cave sulfur? Well, first we have to find caves. And then we have to find a crash fish. But first, to get the silicon rubber, we'll need to get a knife. Now, this game takes a lot of survival mechanics, it's a lot of resource management, resource gathering, and so it's going to be a lot of cozy time. So I'm still trying to get into my rhythm of what people might want to hear or see or just vibe out to in their day-to-day. So, I appreciate anybody who finds this series and spends a chance on me as I learn the ropes, so to speak. Alright, so, silicone rubber, we will need a knife. To get a knife, we will need... Oh, no, we don't need silicone. We need that for fiber, right. So, if I remember correctly, we need to go find some creep vines. So I guess the first thing I want to ask is, how is everybody doing? Like, the world is an interesting place right now. For those of you who don't know, which would probably be all of you since I'm really new to this, I live in the US, and no matter what you believe in, what system, who you listen to, there is a lot of uncertainty and stress going around. So tell me, well, how you guys are doing? Give me some good stories. Tell me some fun stuff that you guys have been experiencing. And, you know, tell me how you guys are getting through some of this tough day-to-day stuff. For me, it is trying to learn something new and re-broaden myself into something that brought me a lot of passion. Growing up, I always loved video games. It's my favorite pastime. And it is something that has brought me a lot of calm, and hopefully...
Life on this planet grows in unusually distinct and diverse ecological biomes. Further study recommended.
So hopefully I can share that love with others, and hopefully inspire people to start following what makes them feel better and happy.
Alien life forms may have unexpected applications. Utilizing alien resources is a proven survival strategy.
So right now we should have the resources to make lubricant, to make rubber, and to make our survival knife. Now we don't really need lubricant at this moment, but in the future we definitely will need to. So let's just make some, just so we don't have creepvine.
Lubricant is essential in construction of vehicles and power plants,
which will be helpful with base building later. Interesting, in this game you can also make non-vegan water. Now, I'm going to try to be nice to the ecosystem as much as I can be in this.
The fabricator draws from available data to provide environment-appropriate equipment using locally available materials. For your safety, this setting cannot be overridden.
But
weapons were removed from standard survival blueprints following the massacre on Abraxas Prime. The knife remains the only exception.
So, like I said, I want to try to be as nice to the ecosystem as possible, but at the end of the day, survival comes first. So, some of you might want to be wondering what made me want to start recording videos, posting them to YouTube, and hopefully one day, once I get a little bit more confident in my ability, start streaming live to all you fine folks out there. Growing up, I spent my time on the early internet, and one of the channels that brought me a lot of peace and comfort growing up and laughs when things got hard was a company called Rooster Teeth. I really enjoyed watching,
Detecting
especially
sulfur
their
deposits
Achievement Hunter
in the local cave systems. Sulfur is an
content,
essential component of the Reaper
and
tool.
they became a big part of my
Copper is
life.
an essential component of all powered equipment.
And I'm
Your
hoping
probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
that I can do the same for others and provide a positive role model, or at least a funny enough one to make some of your guys' days go a little bit quicker. Alright, so we're cooking some food.
The fabricator cooks small organisms while disposing of the skeletal structure, bodily fluids, and internal organs, thus rendering them safe for human consumption.
I did this not because I needed it, but just to kind of show off that the food in this game expires quite quickly. So we need cave sulfur. Let's go find us a cave. Now, when I first played this game, I was terrified swimming out at night. The location we find ourselves in is the Calm Shallows. Aside from the farty boys over there, the gastropods, there's not much that will harm you and provide a risk to your survival. There's a crash fish. they still make me jump.
Detecting increased local radiation levels. Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core, sustained during planet fall.
I always forget how beautiful they've made the solar system, the planets that are going around. Honestly, I can't remember what this planet's name is. I could actually probably look it up in the database. Apparently not. Well, we'll learn more about it when we get through. Really need a flashlight too. I need to figure out where that crash fish came from so I can get the sulfur out of its little abode. Grab some quartz while we're here. Oh, there it is. Not the one we found, but that is where the crash fish comes from. Now, in my time playing this game, I have been fortunate enough that I have not actually been killed
30 seconds.
by any of the major wildlife in this game. You'll definitely be seeing some of them up close later, but in this game, in this playthrough, I want to try to scan every single item I can, and I want to try to not die doing so. Now, I'm not skilled enough at this game yet to make this a permadeath run where if I die I restart, but I do want to challenge myself to see how far I can get without dying. So let's see how long that lasts. Honestly, I want you guys to comment below and start making predictions about how long you actually think I can last before I take my first death. And if you're feeling extra risky, or want to speculate, or guess, I want to see some predictions on what will actually cause my first death. Alright, so we actually now have enough for the repair tool. Now we can actually start some of the game proper. Alright, so the next things I will want is a scanner. The flashlight is a little helpful, but it another recipe in the future makes it quite unnecessary, so I will probably make one just so I have that as a completion, but don't expect me to be using
Lifeboat
it.
secondary systems online. Running full environment diagnostic and outputting results to databank.
Oh. This is the planet we're on. This is planet 4546b. The environment scan, Category 3, Ocean Planet. It has an oxygen/nitrogen atmosphere, extensive biodiversity. Safety warnings, may support Leviathan-class predators, water contaminated with high levels of foreign bacteria. Planet is beyond Federation space. Rescue is unlikely. It is not recommended to explore this environment without hazardous material suits and extensive support apparatus. That is not concerning at all. Let's actually repair the radio. We will be needing that quite here in the future so we can start getting progress.
Operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
Now, if you have never played Subnautica before, I do highly recommend giving it a try. It has honestly helped me out a lot with a personal fear of mine that I struggled with growing up, basilophobia. If you do not know what that word means, it means essentially the fear of deep ocean, deep bodies of water, and when I first started this game, I was scared out of my mind. Every single sound, every single shadow in the distance. And this game does just an amazing job with its environmental storytelling. We need a battery, and after that we can create our scanner.
New blueprint acquired. The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
Alright, let's start recording that alien biological data, and let's start with, honestly, what I would consider the first mascot of this game, the Peeper. Let's pick up some more acid mushrooms. I'm not sure which creature egg this is, but we will be able to hatch those once we are able to create the aquarium. Now, we are that's going to be a bit in the future before we have the resources and the time to do that. But that can also be one of the sub goals of this playthrough, is try to make as big an aquarium as we can and fill it with at least one of every single fish. Alright, what are we needing right now? We've made the scanner, so we can take that off of our recipe list. We can make the flashlight for now, habitat builder, which needs a computer chip and a wiring kit, which means we need to go deeper. We need to find gold and silver. Okay. Yep, we need to go deeper. So, you saw that we were getting limestone, or out of limestone we were getting titanium chunks and copper ore. We'll need to go deeper to get some sandstone chunks to start getting resources like silver, gold, and lead. To do that, we need to be able to travel deeper, so we'll be looking for the brain coral to be able to refill our oxygen while we're down, as well as getting that silver ore so that we can build a bigger oxygen tank. another thing I haven't mentioned about this game is that it has one of the best soundtracks I have ever really listened to in a game. It is definitely one of my favorites. As you can see, they are very, very dangerous to your health. And I am very, very bad at dodging them. Alright, let's try zooming past it. Ow. Alright then, we're not dead yet, so that is at least progress. Alright, so we're looking for sandstone chunks. Hopefully we should be starting to see them here. Now, these fellas, they love to bite on any metal, which is a good thing for us because that is how we get their teeth to start making tougher glass. Is this a sandstone chunk or limestone still? Limestone. We need to go deeper than that. Let's keep going this way then. So for those of you who have played this game before, tell me what without spoiling it for those who might be watching it for the first time, share with me some of your favorite memories about this game. And if you have comments about how I can improve my gameplay in the future, or just in general, feel free to just share it in the bottom. Alright then.
Local scans show a nearby cave entrance, depth 90 meters, leading to an unknown environmental biome. Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
We need one more.
30
we need one more Sea-Doo fragments, and we need 2 more vehicle bays. All right, let's go up. I don't see anybody. Okay.
Self-scan complete. Vital signs normal. Continuing to monitor.
Fragment. Alright. Trying to make sure I stay behind it so it doesn't turn around real quick and get me.
Integrating new PDA data.
We got a stalker and we got information about a possible infection. As soon as we get back to our safety of our...
Short-range scans suggest this biome supports extensive biodiversity and connects to a number of small cave networks.
Nice. As soon as we get back to our life pod, we can start reading some of this information. That crasher really wanted that. Really, another one? Sheesh. You're really coming for me.
Blueprint acquired.
Alright. Don't want to waste their sulfur. Hello? Hello? Can I? Am I full? Oh, sorry. Am I full up? No. Can't I grab you? Hello?
30 seconds.
Alright. Well, not sure why I couldn't grab it, but we now have some information and we can get some stuff to make it so that we can travel further, travel deeper, and start getting into the real risky parts of this game. Alright, coral tubes. There you go. Oh, we have a message. Let's see who is calling us.
Receiving re-recorded distress call, laying back.
This is LifePod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Alright, we'll have to check that out as soon as we get the battery we need to create our next fun little upgrade. Okay. So yeah, you see the health on these have decomposed quite quickly in the span of just a few minutes. So I will end up throwing those outside.
Continued degradation of the Aurora's drive core may result in a quantum detonation. Continuing to monitor.
Alright, so it looks like we need some copper ore. And we will need some water. And sorry about the constant accidental pauses. I'm playing on a controller on the computer, and I'm playing on a PlayStation 5 controller, which has a different button scheme. And so every once in a while I accidentally touch the scroll pad in the middle. The sandstone outcrops.
Wiring its own essential component of many habitat modules.
Sandstone outcrops are what give us the next tier of materials we need. And it usually drops things like lead, gold, and silver. I never noticed that sometimes the papers just have trails behind them.
Oxygen.
So, one of the things I wish I knew sooner when playing this game is when you are cracking geodes like that, like, for lack of a better term, cracking the rocks, is to have a tool in your hand, like the scanner, the repair tool, because it always feels like it goes quicker versus having to smash the brake button while having an empty hand. Get. Where are you? Survival knife, repair tool, no. Equipment? Where are you in electronics? No. I could have sworn I got the. I need lubricant. Okay, so then we can build a flashlight. Take that off of our list to make. also make this. Once I get 2 more acid mushrooms. Put our health in here. Let's drop these creature eggs. Do we have anything else? We need to drink some water. Once again, other side of the touchpad. Need to make another battery. Now we have our Sea Glide.
The Sea Glide will increase your effective exploration range. For your safety, please pack supplies for long journeys and stay within 5 kilometers of the nearest life pod or habitat.
And as promised, since we are back in our life pod, let's see some of these data entries. Alien eggs. Evidence suggests that a substantial number, if not all, of the local species reproduce through egg laying. Eggs can be found resting on the seafloor, buried beneath detritus, or even wedged into cracks in the rock. Different species likely favor different biomes as their nesting grounds. Eggs discovered in the wild are in some form of natural stasis, likely waiting ideal conditions in which to hatch, or the delivery of some vital enzyme which will kickstart the process. It is impossible to calculate the species of the egg from the exterior. However, it may be possible to stimulate a hatching response if an egg is relocated to a suitable alien containment unit. Tech scan. Specimen with symptoms of infection. This organism is displaying signs of a bacterial infection. Bright green blisters are forming networks around the infection sites. Pathology suggests a waterborne bacterium capable of penetrating the body through the skin and respiratory system. Underlying indications of genetic mutation and aggressive behavior. The bacterium itself is unlike any so far recorded in human exploration. Warning, may be contagious. Avoid. Do not under any circumstances consume the flesh. Air pumps can be used to pipe breathable air to a remote location. The base-attached air pump can be built at a compatible habitat and will source oxygen directly from the habitat's oxygen generator. The floating air pump must have access to breathable air and be floating on the water's surface. Pumps must be connected to a pipe chain to function. Alright, now we got a new radio. Let's see what's going on.
Plan pre-recorded distress call.
This is Ozzy from the cafeteria. What the hell, guys? They didn't warn us this might happen. Our pod was almost crushed by this Seamoth Bay on the way down. Now we're hanging on the edge of a cave system, and this grim-looking snake thing's trying to eat through the hull. Come get us already.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Alright then. I think this is actually a good time to take a small break until next time, where we will start taking our Sea Glide out and exploring the mystery of what happened to our fellow life pod, our fellow survivors, and start looking into maybe even exploring the Aurora. Thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions on what I should play next, what you would like to see out of this series, just things that you enjoyed, and give me some stories about what made your day a little bit brighter. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the other stuff. If you see this and I'm streaming on Twitch, my name is Chromatic Magus. Have a wonderful day.